Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I Am Patience, and on this channel we have conversations about society's impacts on our lives and our finances and how we can take back that power to make more intentional decisions of our lives and our finances. And if that sounds good to you, stick around by hitting the subscribe button and also like this video and leave a comment as well. You're here anyway. In today's video I am giving you an update on my master's degree program. So I started this YouTube channel before I started my master's, I think a year after I started this channel, and I've been giving you almost like a semester by semester progress, and I just wanted to give you this one if you care. Thank you for watching. Let me tell you, this semester I have gone through it. I've actually gone through it this semester. It's probably one of the hardest semesters, and I think it's because of the way life is going. A lot of things are happening in my life. By the grace of God, next year by this time I'll be finished my program and graduating, and that is very exciting. It's just so much going on that I just think that this past semester I've not been able to hone in on my master's degree the way I wanted to. I mean, even the way the year started, it wasn't that bad. Just between the courses, it's been so hard. It was really stressful, especially the last couple of weeks. It's just not been great. Even the way it ended on a very low note emotionally and physically for me. But I've given it time, I've rested. I'm ready to really put energy into my YouTube channel with the break that I have until my next course. So as most of my courses go, from January to May was when I took 2 classes. The first one was from January and February, and the next one was mid-March to early to mid-May, I'll say. I think May 10th or May 9th was the end. So the whole thing was a good 5 months. We started like the first week of January, which is like right after the new year. We don't even get a break. But the first course was very good. It was a 10-week class and it had lots of reading. We read 2 books on analytics, really good. I mean, we weren't supposed to read the entire book. I ended up reading one of the first books in entirety because I'm also trying to read a lot of books this year. I've already read 4 and I'm currently reading like 3 more, so hopefully by the end of next month I'll increase that number. I enjoyed those books. Really great addition into my life personally and academically. It was also a lot of discussion, presentation, writing. The good things that we didn't have a midterm or a final. We had homework projects, which I got to work with some of my classmates on, and then we presented it. Our final project, we did it on autonomous driving systems. We discussed the ethics, monetarily, how it's going to affect the lives of people. Really interesting stuff. And I've always been interested in autonomous vehicles. I actually did research on that for my bachelor's degree. In my research class, I was really happy to have the opportunity to build on that. In that class, we also learned Tableau and R. We didn't have enough time to really delve deep. They give you the surface and then you go out and do more of it. Tableau unfortunately lasted less than a month, and then the rest was on R. I am not that great at R. It's a coding language. Personally, my favorite is C++ and Python, but R is interesting. And that class ended, I think, last week of February on a super high note. I knew I did well in that class. It wasn't too hectic. Other things were going on personally in my life that probably made it more hectic than it should have been. And I went on like 2 work trips, which when you go on work trips during school time, it's hard to study, it's hard to get things done, so that added pressure makes it less fun. But that class overall ended on a high note. And then 2 weeks later, I started on my next class. But before that, I actually went on vacation to California with a friend. We did a road trip from San Francisco to San Jose over like a 5-day period. Super fun, really high note. So to go from that and then coming to my next class, where we already knew it was going to be more challenging because the textbook alone was 700 pages. It was expensive too. It was like $300-400 for that one textbook. Same is a 10-week course, 15 chapters, and we're supposed to go through the entire book in those 10 weeks. But beyond reading the entire book, every 2 weeks we had like 10 to 15 pages of homework. 10 to 15 pages of homework. This is not just reading a book and discussing. This is math problems, like solving problems. And then we also had in-class work. We had a midterm and we had a final. I did not do great on my midterm. When I tell you, I've just been going through it since March. I was living on like a bunch of anxiety. I felt so much anxiety in my life. Good things were happening, by the grace of God. But then this was also happening and I'm trying to be social. One of my friends got married. I went to the wedding like halfway through the class. Our class is every other Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that Friday was my friend's wedding. So I went to school. This was right after the midterm. I was like, I don't care anymore. I do not care anymore. I'm just trying to pass this class. I'm not trying to overachieve like I usually do. I went to class and then lunchtime, I drove to the venue. I had all my clothes. I had to do my makeup, my hair, wear the dress. Wedding was fun. I would not take it back for anything. Okay, that was amazing. In between then, I was also planning with another group of friends a surprise birthday party for one of my friends. Not forgetting the fact that I'm actually a full-time engineer. This is all happening. Work, school, church life balance was not looking up for me. I made it through. The ending, that last 2 weeks was like a movie. So I had my friend's birthday the Saturday before my final. Enjoyed it. I'm not gonna worry too much about school. I'm going to have a great time because when school is over, it's going to be over. Whether I pass, I fail. At this point, my confidence was very low. And I was like, you know what? I'm still going to live life. I'm just going to take a break from this. I do that. Monday, I have a work trip. Mind you, Friday is my final. I'm supposed to be studying. I am trying to get through this. My work trip, I'm supposed to leave on Monday and come back Thursday afternoon. And I have a presentation I'm completing with my teammates. All through Sunday, we were like online, offline, online, just going back and forth with, not like arguing, just like going online, coming back, then going back, just to make sure that we're prepping for our final project. And we're going to present in the morning, and that afternoon we will take a final. This is what it ends up looking like. Monday afternoon, I go to the airport. My flight is delayed, then it's delayed, and then it's canceled. I think they had the 9:11 p.m. flight, but it ended up being booked. It was connecting. So I was like, if I go and then it gets canceled, which it actually ended up getting canceled, some people end up getting stuck in different states, then I'm going to be tired for the next day. So instead, I discussed it with my management, and I ended up taking like a 5 a.m. flight, a flight around 5 a.m. But then our meeting is starting at 8 a.m. So we're late to the meeting. This is day one. From the airport to pick up some stuff and then to the meeting. So after the meeting, it's like 5, 6 p.m. I finally get to my hotel, take a shower, order dinner, and then I'm in my room. I'm studying, and I'm also meeting online with my teammates to complete the project. So this is Tuesday evening. Wednesday, I have another all-day meeting, come back, same. Thursday, wake up, go to the airport. I'm studying at the airport. I printed out a lot of what I wanted to study. I should print out more. I didn't think what happened was going to end up happening. We're at the airport. Our flight is supposed to leave at 1:33. This is a small airport, tiny airport, only 12 gates. The flight gets delayed, mechanical issues, okay? The person is here. 2, it's around 3, and then you're like, it's almost done, 30 minutes, we'll start boarding. We're waiting. One more delay, and then the flight is canceled. I am baffled, but I'm not too worried. Now I can't get home early. That's the whole point. I'm supposed to get home early, pack immediately I get home, rest. I'm supposed to meet my teammates that evening online to run through the presentation, go to sleep, have enough rest from traveling, and then get to school by 8 a.m. tomorrow, which I'm supposed to leave the house by like 6:40 to make it in time so I don't hit too much traffic. It's gonna hit traffic anyway, but you just wanna make sure you get to class on time. I go in to get a new flight. I don't wanna take American anymore because American flights, I'm like, that's what's getting canceled. I want a different flight. So I take Delta because I'm a Delta member. I trust Delta. Delta has some of the most on-time, least cancellation flights ever, and my flight is at 7. It's connecting. There's no more direct flights leaving that airport for the rest of the day. I'm there, mind you, I've been there since like around 11, so I'm still there. My flight gets delayed. My connecting flight was supposed to be in Atlanta 55 minutes. I'm not gonna make it if it gets delayed anymore. Guess what? It gets delayed again. So now I have the option: wait for the next direct flight out of Alabama, which is at 5 a.m., or go to Atlanta and try to find a connecting flight. I'm gonna miss my connecting flight. I call to try and see if I can get that 5 a.m. flight. They said the only ticket left is $2,500 for first class ticket. That's the only ticket left on the direct 5 a.m. flight. I'm like, well, dang. When is the next direct flight? Not to the next evening. I can't, because if I miss that class, I missed 20%. Mind you, I went to my friend's wedding, which means I would have missed 30%. There could have been an argument for me not to have the class completed because I missed 30% of the class. because I missed half a day and I'm missing the entire day. So I'm working with this travel agent. I'm like, please get me out of here. At one point, she suggests I go to Nashville because a bigger airport to take a direct flight to Dallas. And I'm like, well, how far is it? She's like, it's a 2-hour. Then the flight is leaving at 5 a.m. straight to Dallas. I'm like, well, how am I gonna get there to 2 hours? Mind you, this time it's like around 7, 8. I just want to leave Alabama. I just want out of here. Even if I get to Atlanta is a huge airport. We can find a way to get to Dallas. I just need to leave here. One of the reasons the flights were getting canceled is because of a storm, but other reasons, like, it's just a small airport. Don't think the options were that much. I just want to leave at this point. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. The longer I stay here, the more likely I'm not gonna make it back to Dallas in time. Go to Atlanta. I'm so glad I switched my flight because I did miss my connection. There were some people who I think were trying to make that connection and didn't. I stayed over that night. By the time I got to my hotel, took a shower, went to bed, it was past 12. And my next flight is at 5:40. I sleep, I wake up, make it downstairs. I'm waiting for the shuttle with other people. This is 4:30 a.m. so I can make it to the airport. It's like 6 minutes away. So I'm thinking at least by 4:40, 4:45, I'll be there. So I'm waiting, and then it's time to get in. This is not the biggest shuttle. I don't make it in. The driver goes, oh, I'll be back in a few minutes. When he says a few minutes, it didn't click that, no, he's gonna be back in 30 minutes. And my flight departs at 5:40. So I'm standing there, and then I realized, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make it on my flight if I wait for the shuttle. I call an Uber. It's taking a while to come. The shuttle comes, the Uber comes, but I still take my Uber because it would get me to my flight on time. By the time I get to the airport, my flight is boarding. TSA line in Atlanta, luckily I didn't have any checked bags. I have 2 carry-ons. I passed by the clear line. The guy goes, you know, your flight. I'm like, it's boarding. It's boarding. And I'm in this huge airport. Luckily, we spend time trying to enter some information, get me registered. He takes me to my line, and my gate is like right behind. When I tell you I was the last person to board this flight, Lord Jesus. And had I not made it on this flight, I don't know what I was going to do. This is a 5:40 flight, but this is Eastern time. So Dallas is an hour behind. I make it to Dallas at 7 o'clock. Mind you, my class is starting at 8 a.m. My drive is far. I come home from the airport. I take an Uber home. I take a shower. I just felt exhausted, and I just didn't want to take the airplane and everything that had been going on with me. I don't even have any time to rest. I'm tired. I'm sleep deprived. I make the over an hour drive to my school. I get there about 9:30. Some teams had already started presenting. My team and I, we present. Goes pretty decent. I'm like literally using my last 2 brain cells to explain what I need to explain. We go to lunch. I'm tired. I'm even falling asleep through people's presentations. I'm already low energy, but that day I was working with nothing. We come back from lunch. I'm trying to do last minute study, but I just give up. Nothing is hitting. Absolutely nothing is hitting. I even tried to like study during the airplane. I did my best, and I just was like, Lord, take the wheel, because at this point I've done the best that I can. The rest, making sure I can get the information I've learned out. Right before the test, we get to know that chapter 15 will not be on it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I mastered chapter 15. I actually wanted chapter 15 to be on the test because I studied it and I knew it. We take the test. It's 1 p.m. It's a 3-hour exam. I'm falling asleep on the exam. When I first went through it, so it's like 30 questions, a lot of math, calculations. I was able to solve a lot of problems. So I solved everything I wanted to solve, and I went through a second time, and then the third final time. When I tell you I was falling asleep on that exams, I would fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep. I used all 3 hours. If that wasn't the case, I could have probably used less. And then after I stayed over, we said 1 more assignment. Can you believe it? After the exam, we had 1 more assignment for the class to end. This class had everything. It had classwork, homework, it had project, a midterm, and a final. I never had a master's class that had so much stuff in 10 weeks. It was overwhelming. Driving home, I was scared in a way, but I just wanted to get home. By the grace of God, I got home safely. When I get tired, I get slow. Everything just takes so much effort. I come back, I unpack, I'm doing laundry, but I need to go to bed because the next morning, a commitment with my church. I was leading a discussion for a women's program. It was Mother's Day weekend. I don't get to bed in enough time, and they changed the time. I found out that kind of late. I was exhausted when I woke up the next morning, but I went anyway, came back, took a nap, woke up in the middle of the night, so I can't go to bed. I'm still tired. I'm still exhausted. And then Sunday, I just couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. Not to mention that Friday when I came back, I had to do a little bit of work as well. So I took that day to rest. I was so sad to miss the Mother's Day service, but I had to do what was best for me. That was a really hard week, but by the grace of God, it's over now. I was victorious. We did really well in our project, and I actually got like an A on my exams, even though I fell asleep. I could have probably done so much better. I passed the class, definitely lowered my GPA. I passed enough of my job to pay for it, so that's what's best. Really happy. I'm really happy with myself for overcoming that, for being resilient in that, not giving up. I hope the next 3 classes are not this crazy. Of course, I just finished was Productions Engineer, Supply Chain Management. And so it was very interesting to learn about customers, the supply chain system. It included some updates on AI, what happened to the supply chain during the pandemic. There's so much that I learned in the course. It was just a lot of information, it was a lot of information overload. And with that, I am officially 70% done with my master's degree. I have 3 more courses. I'll be taking 1 in October and 2 next spring, January through February, and then March through May for my last courses. And I will be ready to graduate. I am so excited. Honestly, I felt like I was kind of over the master's degree with this semester. All of this energy I have for the next course, I think it's supposed to be like an engineering financial course. So I'm really excited and looking forward to it. One of my favorite courses was engineering economics. And I think it's with a professor that I already took before that I actually really enjoyed. I am looking forward to that course. I wish it was in August and September, not October through December, because all that leads to is a 3 weeks break, and then you have to take the last 2 courses with no breaks. So I wish we were taking it in August, but you know what? That just means I have more time from now till then to record a bunch of videos. If you look at my videos that I was posting up until recently, you would see that I had straight hair, but that's because I knew what was coming during the break, because last year I did take my first 2 courses in the spring and I took 1 more course in August. So during that break and in December and January, I filmed a ton of videos just so that I could always fulfill my commitment to you to give you 2 videos a week. That was hard. I still was able to balance it, and I'm also really proud of that. I think maybe I missed 1 video just because I couldn't get it edited and I had so much going on. But aside from that, I'm pretty sure I brought you 2 new videos every single week. My cooking videos were more updated, so I was just film when I was cooking. Like, that was me really cooking for myself, and I was like, let me film this. And so those ones were definitely newer. I am really grateful for the time that I have, and I'm planning a lot of videos. I have so much that I want to film, so stay tuned. There's just going to be so much coming your way. We're gonna have a good time this summer. We're gonna have a great time. I also have a few travels planned for this summer, but I'm not going to speak too quickly. I'm definitely looking forward to a little vacation, and definitely just vacation from school. Even though I'm still working, having my weekends back, having the ability to have a more active social life is something I'm looking forward to. So yeah, that's what I've been going through for the last 5 months, and I wanted to share with you all. So thank you all again. A lot of you are very encouraging with my master's. It's a journey, so if you're going through something like this, know that it's for a season, you're doing it for a reason, and you're gonna succeed no matter what's coming your way. Thank you all for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and ring notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Come back to my channel a couple of days for a brand new video. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.